Harper and Tane awkwardly navigate living together. Remi is asked to leave. The Langhams get the keys to the beach house. And Rue attempts to sweet talk Adrian.
Hold me in your arms, don't let me go. I want to stay forever, closer each day, home and away.
No luck, eh?
Oh. David's not even thinking about giving me the address, as if rules matter now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, love, but the poor bloke's just doing his job.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get worried about you. It's getting late.
I went for a walk. I didn't want Cohen to see how upset I was. Where is he?
He's gone to bed. He hardly touched his dinner.
How do I fix this?
Maybe there's another way we can get the address.
Well, Harper can't help me. She's in the same position as David. I've asked her. And Adrian is not picking up his phone, obviously. What else can I do?
It's funny, isn't it? Not all that long ago, Adrian being out of the picture would have suited you down to the ground.
Well, he is the father. And everyone kept telling me how I should help them bond, and I did that. And look where we've ended up.
We are Si and Sophie. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast, your weekly episode companion podcast for your favourite Aussie soap.
How do we start this episode, Sophie? Because normally I come on and I side wipe you with some clever clogs remark.
You do.
And this week I've got nothing left. I've
Oh,
got
no.
nothing left.
Got nothing. You sound like Ian Beale now. I've got
Yeah.
nothing.
Mm.
I know. I don't know. I feel a bit melancholy. We need to cheer ourselves up, don't we? We need to G ourselves up.
We do.
Yeah.
A couple of mojitos in salt should do.
That will do. Yeah, that will do.
Yes, of course. Hello. Well, how are you?
Hello. I'm all right. How are you?
Yes, we've made it through the big week. Through the grief, through the tears, through the laughing, through the snotting. It's just been a week that's changed the show, really.
Yeah.
And of course, we're talking about Irene's exit. How was it for you this week?
I mean, I think in the end it turned out pretty perfectly for me. Because I haven't been shy in telling you my opinion on the podcast for the last few weeks about the storyline and her leaving while she's got this really sort of serious diagnosis, and the idea of her being alone in an airport and all that stuff was sort of emotionally jarring me and making it feel a bit implausible that she was leaving in this kind of this storyline. But actually this episode was what I needed. It was nostalgic, it was beautiful, it was bittersweet, it was just beautiful. It was just Irene. It was full of heart, full of this perfect advice that she has because she's had all this life experience, and handing down that advice to people of her own age and the younger members of the cast as well. And these letters that she did, it was just beautiful, the whole thing. And although I absolutely bawled my eyes out for the entire half an hour of the episode, it was lovely. It was just a lovely way to say goodbye to her, and it was something I needed, I think. How about you? How did you feel about it?
I agree. It was just so perfect. I don't think we could have asked for any more for such a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I managed to hold it together till the sort of party was wrapping up. And then it was starting to get to the final messages, like you say, the letters.
Yeah.
The little walk that she did with John.
Oh yeah.
And pulls out the plane tickets and says, "Meet me at the Eiffel Tower." And I was just like, "Oh no!" Family members were checking in on me because we were at that party. We were losing her as well. We were saying goodbye, and it was warm. It was just so fitting, and I think you you say it really well. It was very Irene, you
Mm.
know, and I don't think we could have asked for anything more.
No. No.
And and I think I am left now the other side a bit like we're changed now.
Mm.
Things are changing,
Yeah.
and where I fit and how I feel on that. I'm yet to decide. It's still a bit raw, but
Mm.
yeah, this week is a turning point. I feel like we're at a big crossroads now.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting how one character can do that on a show like
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
where it's an
Absolutely.
ensemble.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Was there a highlight of it for you? Was there a moment that stuck out for you
There were quite a
throughout it?
few, particularly the last episode. There were quite a few things that I did really enjoy. I did really enjoy the dancing, although it was everybody's worst nightmare was Justin and Theo having a sing along. But I did really enjoy this. Everyone just letting their hair down and having a dance, and like seeing Sarge and Leah, and that the whole new character coming in and dancing with the legacy character.
Yeah.
Mr. Stewart got up and had a dance with Marilyn.
Yes, got some shapes there, Annie.
It was so good, and like the little chats that Irene had with people, there were so many nice things in the storyline. And like you say, the bit with John, meet me in Paris. We'll always have Paris. That's what I'm thinking in my head now, because it's not goodbye. He's going to go and see her in 6 weeks' time or whenever he goes, and then
Au revoir.
they'll always have that memory then, or at least he will. She might not. He'll always have that memory. He'll always have Paris, because that's how he'll remember her. Like having that coffee and the Eiffel Tower together in 6 weeks' time. Hopefully she'll remember that she's going. And that was lovely. That was a really nice way to cap it off and have that walk and talk, that last walk and talk with them two together. So yeah, it was just those little things in the episode for me, I think, that made it.
Yeah, I agree. Those little non like, it wasn't very high drama. It wasn't very staged. It was just very simple dialogue, but much required. I am a bit worried about John going into next week. I will say he's taken it the hardest out of everyone. They've grown a real close friendship over the years. Who does John lean on now? Because he and Irene would go out for dinner together. Yes, he's got other friends, but
That's his
no
bestie.
one was.
Yeah.
So it'd be like you leaving me in the bay. What would I do?
Oh, don't, doll. You can't get rid of me that easily. You wish.
But it's like they belong together, as the song goes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were amazing.
I would say,
we did amazing things. That song, it was cheesy, but it was like it got me in the feels. You were.
I know
amazing.
it just worked,
Yeah.
and I think it even worked because it was her friends were singing it, and it was just, it wasn't a hired band. It was just it was perfect. So we actually gave Irene her own episode, her very own special episode in our much anticipated, because we've been talking about it for weeks, crossover with Pop Goes the Tam Tam, Tamzing, who is also a long time viewer of the show, loves obviously Home and Away, watches it, is a regular contributor here as well. And we got together and did an episode that was out yesterday. So there is a whole hour of Irene talk, Irene's exit, our favourite memories of Irene. It is good, and I promise you, it's not sad. It's actually a good giggle and another good send off for Irene, I would say.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. And so go and listen to that, because we've covered it all there. You've got a full episode of it. There's not going to be much more Irene chat on here in terms of episode discussion, because we've done it. So go and listen to that for the Irene stuff, and then come back for everything else. That's what I would advise you. Lots of content this week. Lots of content.
We've got more Irene stuff coming up at the end of this episode, because I'm going to talk about Irene in Your Sound the Bay later on as well.
I imagine. Yeah. Everyone else's reactions and what they're thinking. I can't wait for that, because it's times like these you do, the audience galvanizes, and you do realise you're not alone watching it. When this big stuff happens. Can't wait. As always, keep your eye on our brand new website, coastalnewspod.com, where you can keep up to date with announcements such as special episodes that we did for Irene. Listen to all our episodes, including our sister podcast, Coastal News Investigates, where we interview cast, crew, and more. And also, you can get in touch with us and have your say on the Bay read out by the great Sophie. Just filling in the form by clicking on your say on the Bay and tell us what you're thinking. And you never know, Sophie might be reading out your comments. That's coastalnewspod.com. Right, shall we talk about this week's Home and Away?
Go on then.
Perfect. So outside of Irene leaving, things were a bit awkward over at Chez Tane, weren't they, this week? Harper and he are just on eggshells, creeping around each other. You'll remember she moved in under much duress, being gazumped by her sister like she has no free will. And I don't think she needed asking twice in the end, did she? But never mind. Here we are.
She even asked what room she was moving into, Si. So I think she had got a little bit of a mixed signal going on.
Yeah, it's already begun. Exactly. And then I noticed he said the spare one, and then she went into Tane's room. Is Tane in a different room now? You know that room just there by the back door at the back?
That's the one I thought he was in, because Cash is in the one by the front door, isn't he? Then there's the middle room that was Nico's, which I thought was the spare room.
Yeah, so he must have moved rooms. Because I was like, whoa, she's gone into his room. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, maybe Nico's was bigger. I don't know. Oh, God, I shouldn't say that.
Nothing gets past us. Listen.
Moving on.
Quickly. So when Harper runs into Dana, she tells her, look, next time you want to throw me under the bus, just don't. And then makes it known she's not happy about the situation. Things are awkward at home. And then Harper sees Sonny and she's all riled up about this and causes a bit of an issue between Sonny and Dana at this point again. Because she says, look, Dana's still homeless. Maybe you should try helping her out with that. Now, up to this point, poor Sonny's already had this discussion last week about he and Dana not being ready. You know, he's under the pretense that Dana and Harper are trying to live together, looking for places together. Us at home are all shouting, go and rent a fucking caravan.
Yes.
So he goes to Dana, doesn't he? And he's like, what's the crack here? Because obviously his sister's telling me something. So there is a bit of tussle, isn't there? And during the midst of Irene's last waltz, whatever it was, out on the beach, her party, they do agree that, yeah, they're ready. You know, they've had a thought. So I felt this was a bit disjointed myself because there wasn't enough distance between them saying they weren't ready and then him coming round to it because Harper had a go. I'm not buying this.
No.
Are we heading for trouble?
I don't know where we're heading with this, and I am a bit sort of feeling a bit of trepidation because we love Sonny and we love Dana and we love them together, and I feel like this is now a kind of perilous situation that we're kind of entering, isn't it? Because it's being done under duress. It's been done under I don't have a choice. I've got to get her to move in with me because she's got nowhere else to go, and I feel forced into this situation. But like you know, mentioning the caravan park, I'm like, this is not our only option. Why weren't other options considered? I would absolutely love to see Dana move into the caravan park.
Yeah.
Why is that not even being considered as an option? Even if it was like, oh no, I can't because it's full, or I can't because it's, I don't know, some other reason. It's not even been mentioned as an alternative.
She's not even rat-a-tatted on the door and asked,
No.
You know, and then, have you got any bookings or,
I feel like that's an oversight. If there's a reason why we can't be in the caravan park, fine. But I feel like we should have mentioned it and said there was a reason why we can't be in the caravan park. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. It seems incredibly, incredibly silly for such an iconic part of the show to not even be considered. And we've been there a lot this week. You know, it's not like we haven't been at Summer Bay House in the other storylines, so it could have easily been a quick scene. Yeah. Sonny himself, he's got some questions for Remi as well. So there's a lot of stuff going on between this these characters here in this group. And he says to him, "You want to pull yourself together or wrap yourself around a tree?" I'm like, there's a choice. Because obviously Remi tried drink driving, didn't he, last week? He had that massive run-in with Cash as a result. And Remi blames Eden for all this, basically. You know, all his actions. She smothered him. She's on his case. Yada, yada, yada. She's driven him to it. Nothing to do with the fact that he cheated on his wife and he's beat himself up with him, or he's not his wife, his girlfriend. And Sonny was great here because he pretty much batted that at him immediately. And when he threw him out, he turns and goes, "I'm out. But call me if you need me." You know, he's just such a great friend, isn't he, Sonny?
Yeah.
And he's giving it tough when he has to, but he's making it. He's still making them aware that they're not on their own. You know, and nobody's in Remi's corner at the moment. He's got nobody in his corner, and I think Sonny is an important person to him. Who'd have thunk? He's trying to get more booze later on from Sonny into Jack. So again, he's still saving him from the brink. Tane squares up to him. It's all going on with Remi this week. I really struggled to get through this Remi stuff. I'm really, really, really struggling with it because I've got no sympathy for him. It's all his own doing. He then decides to take off and lick his wounds, doesn't he, at parents' holiday pad, whatever. And I'm just like, good, go. Get out my sight. You're a big Remi, or you're definitely a Remi empath. Let's say. What's your feelings this week on Remi and his self-destruction?
Pretty much the same as you. I mean, I do enjoy Remi. I think he is a good character when they write him well, and I do enjoy watching him. But I think the same as you. I think he's done himself no favors with this whole cheating storyline. And he's doing himself no favours with the fallout of it either, and this self-destruction and what have you. And I think, for me, again, banging on the drum is the elephant in the room, which was mentioned this week by Eden, is this: he's got this $8 million in the bank, and he lives like a pauper, and he rents a house, and he lives with roommates, and all of that has come up this week on the back of Eden getting to the point where she's at the brink of looking after him. And why, everyone's saying to Eden, why are you feeling responsible for him? Why does she feel responsible for his well-being? Why is she letting him kick her constantly, when she's trying to help him? And why does she let him get away with this? He treated her like crap this week, and all she's trying to do is look out for a mate and everything else. And it opened my eyes to Eden, and I'm getting frustrated with her as well as with Remi because, she hates her dad because he cheated on her mum. She hated Levi for a long, long time because he cheated on Imogen with Mac. And then with Remi, he's cheated on Bree, and Bree's supposed to be one of Eden's friends as well. Yet she seems to have forgiven him far more quickly than she has other people in her life that have done the similar thing. And she's pandering to him and worrying about his welfare, worrying about getting him back on the straight and narrow, getting him off the booze. And it's like, why? Why is she doing this? Why does she treat him differently? Why? And is it because of the money? Is it because he's paying her rent? Why isn't she thinking about her future? And another elephant in the room is Cash and his inheritance money from his dad and Flick. And he's got money to put roots down. And he's renting the room with people that he doesn't need to live with. And they're having that discussion this week, where we're going to live when we're married, which I'm glad they had that discussion this week of where we're going to live when we're married, because it's something that you and I have talked about. And I'm glad it came up this week, but it's come up again, and it's like, I feel like this is all a bit of a mess, and it needs to be resolved, all of this. But I'm frustrated by it, because I'm like, we've seen this coming for a long, long time. I feel like we've predicted these conversations this week, and I feel like even though we knew they were coming eventually, there's no resolution for them. And I'm getting kind of frustrated, but it's not just Remi that I'm directing that at. It's all the mess around him as well.
Yeah, you're right. There's collateral, isn't there, everywhere?
Yeah.
I do accept your assessment of that, because I think you're bob on. There is this question mark about, because Remi and Eden, I mean, even when the band were all together and living together and it was a house full and they were on the road together, there's this, they were always close, they were always quite tight, weren't they? We've mentioned it before, because we've mentioned, we've you know, when we've talked about, I don't think we can directly compare them, but you know how, like, on Sex and the City, go with me, Carrie and Miranda, even though they were a foursome group,
Yeah.
they definitely had a tighter connection, and we always likened it to a bit like that. You know, like, out of the four, they've sort of got this sort of kindred stuff going on.
Yeah.
But actually, I think this is the start of Eden waking up to the fact that that's been an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
It's probably hindered her personal relationships with her lovers without her even knowing it. It's definitely stifled her development as an adult. Like,
Yes.
she's stuck in this rented house now. Everybody else has gone off and done things. You know, Theo's got a job. He's got a relationship. He's out. Bob's off doing what he was doing. Kirby's gone on tour the world. Like, she is stuck in this house, wiping Remi's ass still.
And
You know, and I
why?
think, yeah, like, why does she feel this? Does she, you know, is it the money? Is it feelings that no one's really tapped into here? I think that's an interesting way it could go. And not that I want it to, because I just don't want it to.
No.
But that could be interesting, because that is quite a relatable story. Right? Best friends, you know, done everything
Yeah.
together all their life, never really crossed that barrier. Would they question what if? I'm starting to feel a bit icky already talking about it. But, like, you know, there is something going on here as to a reason why she feels she needs to do it. I don't know what it is.
She's treating him far better than she treats her own family, in terms of
Yeah.
he's done exactly the same thing as what her dad did, what her brother did, and she absolutely raked them over the coals, didn't she?
Yeah.
And, you know, she still doesn't really forgive dad. She's come a long way with Levi now, but she still doesn't really forgive dad for him cheating on mom and all of that sort of stuff. So why, you know, knowing Eden, knowing the grudges and everything else, why is she treating Remi like this so differently? Why does she feel so
No.
responsible for him? Why does she think that she's the one that has to fix him and get him off the booze and put him on the straight and narrow? Why? She's not his mom. She's not his sister. She's not his girlfriend. She's not responsible for him. Yes, she's his bestie. And I think you do feel like you have to help your friends when they're down. But it's getting to a point where I'm like, okay, now I'm questioning the level of commitment she has to him, comparing it to what we know about Eden and everyone else in her life and how she treats them. It's a stark comparison.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
have the answer.
No, none of us do. It's a massive mystery, isn't it? But
Yeah.
that's the frustrating thing about this whole thing. You're right. Her family come below all that. Eden's one of those people, we've said it before. You know, when I say, you know, there's some people that are just all about their friends. She's one of them. Family's always been a bit second fiddle to her, because she's never really been engaged with it. She left it years ago.
But the
And she's,
reasoning is the cheating, and that's when it brings it back to
that's
this.
what, yeah,
That's why
that's
I
how you
can't
can, yeah.
reconcile the two.
No, you're right. I can't argue with you. You know, you're right.
It's weird though, isn't it? It's really strange that I found myself sitting there this week thinking about that. I've not really been thinking about Remi at all, even though it's been a Remi heavy week this week. You know, even when he wasn't even on screen, you know, he was away at his parents' house, but we're still talking about him and talking about the fallout of Remi and Brie and that kind of thing. But the whole time we're talking about Remi, I'm thinking, Eden, what's going on with her? It's weird, isn't it?
It is very, very weird. Very weird. For me as well, I think Eden's the type of personality. She lives in her own cuckoo land sometimes. Who in the right mind? She's on her own planet, so who in the right mind kicks the millionaire friend out who's paid the mum's rent?
Yes.
He's more right to be there than you have. And I think he was right when he said, no, you get out. I'm staying here, I paid.
I did
Like,
find that really weird, actually. I did find that whole conversation really weird because I'm like, okay, you want to? I think we've got a crisis. I think we've got a housing crisis in the Bay right now that no one wants to really talk about. No one really wants to talk about this because when you're thinking about when we talk about Irene and Irene leaving this week, and David's obviously Sarge has bought the house, but Sarge he seemed to be the only person on the show that was interested in buying this house. And I don't think that that is the case. If you step back, Cash has, as I say, Cash has got money. Cash has got an inheritance from his dad, which he probably never touched because he's never mentioned that he has. He's inherited Flick's money from selling her business, her half of the salt.
Yeah.
Business. So he's got money in the bank that we know of, and he's renting a room with Tane, so we know that he's not bought a house or anything like that. He's a potential home buyer. He could have been up against David for buying that house. Remi's got money. He could have been a potential home buyer. He could have put a studio in that house. It's not only David that could have bought that house. It could have been
That's very true.
It could have been a bidding war. Marilyn could have been involved. There's other people. Last week's Your Say in the Bay, people were saying, why didn't Marilyn buy the beach house? Why didn't Dana and Harper get the money to buy the beach house? There's quite a few people that could have been on, in the running that have not even considered putting roots down. And I can't think of any reason why not. Like, why has it taken this long for Cash and Eden to realise they've got to live together eventually because they're getting married in 3 months' time?
Yeah.
It's a bit mad.
It is mad. I think it comes down to getting Irene out the way. We predicted a shuffle about, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's this. We've been in limbo waiting for Irene to go, basically, and now it's all happening. But it's like you say, it's everything in the meantime has been written into a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Some of these characters have been written into corners. Eden and Cash are a prime example. They've been bobbing around these rented houses, but their actual personal circumstances have come a long way since they moved into those.
Yes.
And I think, yeah, you're right. Eden, the money grabbing thing that you're alluding to, that's an interesting angle because she does seem to surround herself with people who have got a bit. And she doesn't. Out of all these characters we've talked about, she's the waitress, she's the struggling artist,
Reluctant waitress.
Reluctant, yeah, I was about to say she went and got that job under absolute dire straits.
Because they nearly lost the house. This is before Remi inherited the money. They nearly lost the house. Do you remember? They had to get the rent together, and then she was like, "Oh, I'll get some shifts."
And she did not want to do it.
No.
Yeah, she didn't. Kirby forced her hand, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, interesting assessment, and I think I'm going to need some time to sit on that. I think now you've said it, because I'm like, oh god, yeah.
I've had a week of overthinking all this stuff because I've had some time since Irene left.
Well, that's what this podcast is for. Thank you.
I got over the Irene stuff, and I was like, right, let's pick some holes in the rest of it because I need to distract myself from the grief. So,
my gut is as well. I think Cash will move over the road.
I do, yeah, but then are they going to live with Remi, or where's Remi going to go?
This is it.
Is Remi going to take Cash's room, and then it's going to be Remi, Tane, and Harper? That's going to be weird.
Yeah, and Baby.
And why would he? If he's got 8 million in the bank, why would he live with Tane and Harper?
No, he wouldn't, would he?
He wouldn't. It's ridiculous. I really think the millionaire thing has ruined it because
it's got to go. That
I can't get it out of my mind, and I almost was like, well, they've forgotten about it, so maybe I should forget about it. But then it was actually mentioned this week, like Eden said, he's the millionaire, and I thought, yeah, he is. Thank you.
Yeah. I was just, and I did think of you when she said it. I thought, God. Yeah, he's had that money way too long for we said it the second he got that money. We said it, Sophie, and give yourselves a pat on the back because we were right. He can't have that money because it's not a good story.
No,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
make sense.
Not with his current lifestyle. Doesn't make sense.
Now I want to talk about the direction of that episode when he comes back, and he and Eden are arguing in the house, and he's walking round, isn't he, around the house, and the camera, there's I don't know if you picked up on it, that choice of the sort of handheld camera following him around the set was a very sort of, it made it feel much more heightened and frantic.
Yeah.
This argument between the two, I really enjoyed that direction on the episode. I've written on my notes to look up who it was, and I bloody haven't, so I will put it on social medias this weekend.
It was uncomfortable because it was like getting in your face, which is what that argument was about, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, there was none of this steady cam switching. We were literally following them walking around the set in all different angles. I loved it. It was just a nice break, and it made it feel like this argument was intensifying.
Yes.
It was really good direction and a really good choice. They must have had a bit of time to be able to do that, and played with something different. Right, Levi and Mac are going for IVF again in exactly 2 weeks.
Love it.
As you do.
Mm-hmm.
So, Marley reckons they need a bit of fun, bit of a distraction. He and Abs plan a picnic on the beach. Their own little chill-out zone with sand in their butties. In the charcuterie.
I did have to text you about this because I was like, I'm sorry, but there's something about food on sand and leaving it unattended while they walk up to it as well. I was like, it's icky. Like, I would not eat that. It's been left on the beach on its own, unattended, while they go and collect them and put the blindfolds on.
Someone's dog's probably peed on it.
Exactly, or licked it and run off, and it's right next to the sand. There's something about sand and food that makes me feel a bit weird. I can feel it in my teeth. I'm like,
you accidentally bite on it. Oh,
no.
They agree to be more positive, don't they? It's just what they needed. How Marley found the time, I'll never know.
To be so underwhelming with a picnic outside of where Mac works.
Listen, someone's trying at least. Leave him alone.
I know, but I think I was expecting something. They made such a big deal of this. Like, they need something. I was like, yeah, they do. Let's do something. I was like, okay. And then it was like, have a picnic literally 20 yards from where she works. I was like, okay. I'm a bit underwhelmed.
Oh, well. At least he tried.
He did try.
He didn't have to.
Yeah.
But it was probably for his own gains, because he does live with him and he doesn't want to go home to arguments and negativity, does he?
Yeah.
It might have been his bit of self-motivation going on. They, like I say, they agreed to be more positive going into this second round. And do more things they enjoy, including a bit of rampy pumpy, even though it's a bit cold today and it's got a bit of shrinkage. Did we need that line?
that whole scene
in public.
That whole scene was like, what? I mean, it was eye-opening in terms of what Mac is into. She likes a man naked with a flower in his hair and a bit of shrinkage in the cold. I don't think I'm
pin dick.
I don't think I have the same. But then I don't fancy Levi like she does, so I definitely don't think we have the same tastes. It was interesting. Do we need it? I don't know. Eden looked uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I don't know how you felt.
I honestly had to pick my jaw up off the floor.
It was a bit like listening to your mum and dad talk about it. It wasn't sexy. It was just like, oh.
Do you know, whenever they try and be sexy, I always end up laughing.
Yeah, it's not, is it? I don't know what it is about them.
And I don't know if it's like, are they playing it funny?
Yeah, like, maybe.
Because they're having fun with it. But
it's a joke. Yeah,
but I don't look at these two and think these are hot as fuck.
I really don't. I really don't. No.
Can you remember us talking about Flick and Tane for all their bloody problems?
God. Yeah.
But they had this chemistry. They were hot, weren't they?
Yeah.
And scenes like that between them two would have been like,
yeah,
getting a bit hot under the collar sort of thing. These, and it's comedy, isn't it? And you know what? It was probably deliberate because
I think it was
of the heavy week that we were in.
Yeah,
when it played out. But yeah, I just laugh and I'm just like, this is cringe as.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't think, as an adult, I've ever had them conversations with
I don't
my
think.
partner. I mean, I certainly
don't think
wouldn't.
Mac and
If I'm
I have
trying
the
to,
same interest.
no, well, but if you were trying to lure him to your parlour, would you really mention his small penis?
I wouldn't have put a flower in his hair and say
That's
he
gonna
had to
put
streak in front of me either. No, I would not.
no, but kicking a man about his manhood size is not going to get him excited.
But is that an insight into Levi and his humiliation kink? I don't know.
Oh God.
I told you I was uncomfortable with this scene.
Shall we move on?
Yes.
It's a shame we never saw it. That's all.
No, it's not.
Because I'd like to see if they both would follow through with this nonsense.
Oh God, not follow through as well. Jesus, I don't need that. Scat. No scat in the bedroom, please. I'm a scat man. Maybe he is. Maybe he is a scat man.
Oh, right, we've gone there. Right. Now we've got to put an explicit tag on.
I know, but I'm trying to make it a bit more interesting than the actual storyline.
Yes. You've succeeded. The Langhams have got the keys to the beach house, and I'm a bit annoyed because it was literally the next episode.
Yes, it was.
Give me a minute, Dal. I've not even dried my eyes.
No.
David attempted to give Lacey one. A key, that is. God.
I hope not. Incestuous. That's Hollyoaks, Dal. Hollyoaks. We don't do that on Home and Away. Come on.
A key.
Oh, dear. Yes, a key. A key to the back door.
Key to the kingdom.
A key to the back door. Anyway, moving on.
I was going to say it's not quite got the same ring, but I guess it has.
God. I'm trying to behave. I can't. Anyway.
She's not having it. She don't want it. He gives it to Theo instead. And what now?
I need to mute myself. I can't breathe. I think I've had too much wine. Oh dear. Oh.
Now, so Theo's got the key in case she changes her mind, and she goes to go round to the house. I didn't get this.
No.
She's just going to go in when she thought no one was there and
I think she wanted a nosy, didn't she? She wanted to go and have a look at the house, but not get caught doing it, I think, was where we were. Oh, no. Everything we say is going to sound bad from now on. I'm sorry. I feel like it's my fault. I'm so sorry. I do apologise. I've had a bad week. I needed to let some steam off. Oh, dear me.
She went round to the house. She thought she was going to be alone, and she wasn't, so she never went in. And then now we've got this whole Theo sort of saying to her, look, you need to speak to your family. And she's being it's just going round and round and round, isn't it? And Theo goes to see Sarge at the YCPD and says, don't give up on her. She misses you, but she's still very angry. And I think David then eventually does get her to have a look at the beach house. Felt like a bit of a baby step forward, didn't it, towards the end? It felt like maybe the beginning of the softening of Lacey.
I hope so, because we really need to get out of this rut that we're in with her, don't we?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. It's doing her character no favours. The whole family, now they're in this house, if they start getting her involved, this whole thing, this whole storyline and backstory needs to get a bloody wriggle on. I've got to the point where I actually don't care who killed Mother.
No, I care. I want to know. I
Do you
still
still
care.
want to know, even
Yes.
after all this time?
Yeah, because I think that's the only way I'm going to get past all this crap is if I know the truth. Because it's been teased, and I feel like it's something that's when someone goes, "Oh, I've got something to tell you," and then they leave you hanging, and you're like, "What?" I feel like that I'm there, like I've got something to tell you, but I'm going to tell you later, and I'm like, I'm waiting for later to happen.
Yeah, and you're just watching the three dots type for an eternity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to know.
I just feel like it's never coming. I don't understand.
No,
Just don't get it.
I think it's the only way we're going to move forward, because otherwise it's going to be constantly Lacey going, "Oh, they're a family and I'm no longer a family," and blah blah blah, and I can't be doing with it.
No.
I know. I'm already feeling a little bit jarred this week, because the first scene that the Langhams have in the beach house was them drinking booze, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is a dry house, people." Like,
I know, it's just insane, isn't it? It was an absolute slap. That was.
I mean, for the first scene, did we need that? No. And a toast to Irene. I was like, she doesn't want you to toast booze to her.
I know. Who thought of that?
It was
weird. Who thought that was a good idea?
Weird. That was it. It made me feel uncomfortable. Yeah.
I suppose it's that. So this is again, talking about the show's turning point. They don't really know Irene, although Davey should know better, because he went to the party in the end, and it was all non-alcoholic.
It was all mocktails. Yeah, that should have given.
So he should have had an inkling. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a very good copper if he doesn't.
No, well, he does work at YC.
He should be putting the clues together and coming to a conclusion. You would have thought, but.
Yeah. Jo, I can give a little bit of a pass to in that department, because she doesn't know Irene from Adam. But I think the show are not getting off the hook, because I feel like that was a deliberate choice, and that was horrendous.
It was kind of like, get over it, she's gone, to me.
Yeah. This is happening now. That's the past. This is new now.
It didn't have to be the first scene in the house with booze. It could have been next week. They could have invited people, move in, invite people around for dinner, and we have a bottle of wine. That could have been.
Yeah.
But this was like empty house, Irene stuff still in it, and booze. And I was like, oh, this is really just get over it, guys. She's not here anymore. The booze is out.
Yeah. That was a thud. A thud to the heart. It was the very next episode as well. It was horrific.
Yeah.
Been through enough already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So get on with it with the Langhams. He's basically what we're saying. I've had enough.
Yes, I think so.
Right. Someone else who's had enough is Adrian. Doesn't want to be a dad anymore. He's had enough. He lasted like 2 walks and a game of footy.
He lasted longer than I would have, I'll be honest. So give him his dues for that, because I don't think I'd have stuck it out more than a day. But yeah, wow.
This is not good.
No.
He comes over with this new book, doesn't he? And Cohen learns about, obviously naturally just chatting away. Adrian lets slip about his mum. And then obviously Cohen's like, "Oh, Nana." And then he's like, "What else have I got?" And he's gone right in there, hasn't he, Cohen, like he does. This excites him. He's got lots of questions. Who's his aunts, uncles, second mothers twice removed, whatever, right? He wants to know the whole shebang, doesn't he, right? And he wants to know when he can meet them. And he's very much straight away, very shifty, doesn't know, and avoids the subject. And Rue's clocked it. Rue's like, ugh. And we're all like, here we go. Rue's found another avenue to thwart the whole thing. She's going to grasp it. Well, I apologise, Rue, on the record, because actually, she meets up with him and asks him what he's not sure about. And Adrian bolts, literally legs it, gets in his car and drives off. And Rue's like, you can't do this to Cohen. And she's left telling him, after all this drama about finding your dad and mid-adoption and, Willie won't eat, all the lies, and we finally got there and you've let him in and you fell out with him, and then I convinced you to speak to him again. I've now got to tell you, he's decided, no, this poor lad's been through enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually felt like she told him a bit too soon.
Yes.
Did you? I thought, do you know what? She could have just gone a couple of days. What's another lie at this point?
Exactly. There's been that many that it wouldn't have made any difference, and she could have gone and because she ended up going and finding him, didn't she? Eventually, she could have
Mm.
done that and then come back and said he's gone. I mean, is it really up to her to tell him? I don't know. Like
No, you'd have just rang the social, wouldn't you?
well,
You'd have been
I don't
Harper.
know. I think I would have. I don't know what I would have done actually in Rue's shoes. It's difficult to say, isn't it? But for whatever reason, she chose to do this, and she chose to tell him, "Your dad's legged it, and he's not coming back." And I don't know why, because he didn't give me a reason. And it's just like kicking a puppy again, isn't it? With
I know,
Cohen.
it's horrific. And I felt a bit for Rue this week because she's the one having to tell him.
Yes.
You know, this isn't her doing. And I did laugh when she went down to the police station and she asks for the address, and Sarge obviously says no. It's like data, data, as they say.
Data.
And as soon as he steps out the door, she turns to Cash and is like, "No one needs to know where it came from." I was like, "Cash is my weak link."
That was funny. That was funny.
I was like, Rue's like breaking the law and everything now. What's going on?
But again, I'm picking holes in this side because I'm looking at this and I'm saying, right, so you remember when Adrian knocked on her door not that long ago and turned up at her house, and she had a go at Harper and went, "You gave him my address. How dare you?" And she said, actually, Harper said, actually, Cohen told him where you live when they met up. It's not come from me. I wouldn't do that. And yet, you know, Rue's got no problem finding someone else's address out and turning up at their house.
Yeah. Well, as it turns out, that was a foreshadow, wasn't it, for this?
Yes.
You know, it's funny, isn't it, how you piece it together going back then. That actually rules can't. Sometimes in situations you have to bend a rule to try and get the best outcome, don't you? And that's a lesson that Rue learned today. You know, when she went down to that police station begging for that address. And it turns out, once again, Sarge needs softening up by Cash, who has been in the system, and he just gives him a little nudge, doesn't he, and says, "Look, you know, you could turn the other way." Another reminder that we're a small town police team, and another reminder that Cash is coming from a place of greater understanding than anybody here.
Yes.
You know, and that's what makes Sarge go, "Okay, I'll slip her the address." So she goes up to what I can only describe as a factory.
It was like a barn.
Yeah, it looked like Justin and Leah were kidnapped there once.
Yeah, was it a
He's
house?
making chairs.
Or was
I don't know.
What was that? Was there a house attached to it? Was it a garage that he was in?
It was a bloody mill.
It was weird, wasn't it? Yeah, it took me out of it because I was like, "Does he live here? Like, what address is this?"
5 times the size of his house.
It was weird. Yeah, I'm glad it wasn't just me because I was like,
"No,
what?"
It's like, where the bloody hell's this?
Because we don't actually know much about him. This is when I realised we don't know what he does. We don't know what his job is. We don't know anything about this guy, do we? What does he do?
And he was making chairs and tables, but was it for his mum or something?
Yeah, for his mum. So is that is it a business or is it a hobby?
His surroundings didn't scream hobby, did
No,
they?
no.
His surroundings were pretty sort of profesh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Was it mum's house? I've got so many questions about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's trying to convince him regardless over all this wood. You know, whilst trying not to get a splinter. She's trying to convince him to come back and speak to Cohen. You know, you're going to regret this. He wants to be with you. What's the problem? We find out that Mum doesn't know about Cohen, and I'm not sure why he couldn't say that in the bay. Why he had to foot to the floor, screech out of town.
I don't understand any of this though.
There's a complete lack of communication.
I am sus AF now because the story that he told Cohen is that he and Mum were in love and expecting this baby, which was a good thing. And he loved him when he was born, and he was gutted when he thought that he wasn't the dad, and all this stuff. So there was at least 6 months. So maybe she didn't know she was pregnant till 3 months. There's at least 6 months that they knew she was pregnant. They knew that the baby was on the way. They were in a relationship where they loved each other. This was a good thing. And they were looking forward to having the baby. Then the baby arrived, and there was some time between the baby arriving and Cohen's dad being told he wasn't the dad and having to leave. Why did his parents not know about the relationship, not know about the baby,
Exactly.
not know about the birth? Like, you have a baby and you don't tell your parents? What is that?
Yeah.
I'm
Weird.
confused.
Weird. Because he was separated from Cohen after birth.
Yeah.
So.
And he was in a relationship with a woman that he was in love with, having a baby. Why did his parents not know about that? What is the story there? I'm confused, Si. Why is that a dirty little secret?
It's not. Well, either it's very poorly written, the timeline, which, let's face it, or there's something else coming.
Exactly. And I think it's there's something else, because all the stings and the music and all the little things, the little nods this week, I've been like, he's hiding something. This is not the end of the story. Why don't the grandparents know about Cohen? I'm sus.
Yeah.
I'm sus on this guy.
Yeah.
I can't shake it.
Yeah. Do you think he's actually his dad?
I think he is his dad. I think the DNA test has proven that. I just don't know why he.
Is he Adrian, or is Adrian decomposing in a body bag somewhere, and this is imposter?
They did a DNA test, right?
Oh, he could have died since.
No, they did a DNA test recently.
Oh, did they on Adrian as we know him?
Yeah, Adrian got taken to the hospital, and Harper got a text, didn't he?
He did. You're right.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
So
Scrap that theory.
Adrian's definitely the dad, but is he lying about Mum and him being in a happy relationship? Is he lying that?
Well, Mum's. Yeah, I think Mum scarpered for a reason, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Why did she leave? Why did he not tell his parents that he was expecting a baby? Was it because he wasn't in a relationship with this woman? There's more to this story. There's got to be.
Well, at least there is more to it.
I hope so. I hope so.
Rue fighting for what you would think is the opposite of what she would do was quite refreshing. I felt like she did the right thing. I think this week she proved that she could put her feelings aside.
Yes.
Because you would think Rue would be like, now's my chance then, my adoption's going to go through.
Yes.
And no one can stop me. But actually, she gets in the car and tries to fight it out because she knows deep down that that's the best thing for all. And that's
also,
what Cohen needs.
Would Cohen accept her as a plan B now? Because a couple of weeks ago, he wanted Rue to adopt him, and he didn't want anything to do with his dad. But now he's hung out with his dad. He wants his dad, and now Rue is option B, isn't she? And she knows it.
True. Things have flipped. Yeah, you're right. That's very, very good point, Sophie. Yeah, very good point.
I am pleased that she put herself second and put Cohen first. Because I think
same.
That's shown some growth. The only thing I will criticize Rue, because I can't help it. The only thing I will criticize Rue for is when she's trying to convince Adrian to come back, and she's like, "You need to come back with me. You need to, And Adrian's being quite honest with her, and he's saying, "Look, I don't know how to be a dad." He's being quite vulnerable, actually. I don't know how to be a dad. I don't know how to do what you do. I'm not like you. You are the best option for this because I can't do what you do. And she starts to open up, and she starts to say, "I don't know what I'm doing.
I make mistakes.
Yeah, I'm making mistakes. I don't know what I'm doing either. Like, I'm learning as I go." And I thought that was really big of her that she did that.
I did.
But it didn't go far enough for me, because she could have easily have dropped in a little line here going, "I have a child that I gave away because I didn't think I could be a mother.
Yeah.
And look where I am now."
And you know what? It might have got him on the side.
Yeah.
That's been a common theme throughout this whole thing, is that it's just missed that bit on the end.
Yes. And that would have been...
That contextual stuff.
It would have given us as the audience that kind of, oh, thank God, the elephant in the room has been mentioned. It would have given him a bit more, because she could say, "Look, do you know what? I don't know how many years ago Martha was born, 30 odd years ago. I had a child and I gave her up, and I didn't think I would be a very good mother, and I thought I was making the right decision for my child back then. But look at me now. Now I am a foster mum and I am doing a decent job with Cohen, but I'm still making mistakes and I'm learning. And I think that would have made her more relatable and made him more likely. Maybe it's coming next week, I don't know. But I think I needed that. I needed that kind of, do you know what? I'm not perfect because I've given away a child and I regret it, and you don't need to go there yourself.
Yeah, I've been in your shoes, lad.
Yeah.
You know, like it would have made him listen way and comply way much more.
Yeah.
I agree with you exactly what you've said. I thought it was great to hear Rue say I've been making mistakes, because I don't
Yes.
think we've heard it, and I've needed to hear it.
Yes.
Right. Because then I knew that I sort of know that Rue is there doing this stuff, and she is self-aware that she's been pissing
Yes.
it up, that she's fucking. Because I
That's
think
it. That's the perfect word, self-aware. That is what we need.
yeah,
Yeah, that is
yeah,
perfect.
because up until this point, we're thinking that she thinks she's doing good. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But actually, it's great to hear that she has assessed some of the things she's done and realised it was bad.
Exactly.
So yeah, being more self-aware of what her mistakes is great, and it was
That's
great to
spot
hear it.
on.
But
Yeah.
I do agree with you. And I picked up on it too, that she ought to have said to him, "I've been where you are, lad.
Yes.
I wasn't carving out a chair, but
Yeah.
you know, let me tell you." And I would have loved a good 6 minutes or so more scenes of them sat in there with that cup of tea in that warehouse, talking about each other's lives a bit.
Yeah.
Would have been great telly.
Yeah. And it's what we needed to hear as an audience, isn't it? I think. Yeah.
But we are getting somewhere. Growth is a good theme. I think Rue takes one step forward, two back sometimes, but I think we're getting there. This, I do think she's going to give up the fostering life, though. I do think she's going to. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
So, where do you think the Cohen storyline's going then? Do you think Adrian's going to change his mind and he's going to come back? Do you think?
I think he's going to take him. Yeah.
Yeah.
We might even have a guestie for an episode of his grandma or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we could do, couldn't we? Yeah.
You know, and all the family and him being accepted in.
Mm.
And then Cohen feels like he belongs and off he goes.
Yeah. That'd be quite nice, actually, wouldn't it? I think.
Yeah.
Right, so it's time for your say on the bay.
My say on the bay.
Oh. Kind of. Anyway, I've been digging through social media. I've been reading comments and reactions from people out there, you guys listening right now, who've watched Home and Away in the UK this week, and I'm going to read some of the reactions and comments out to Si so we can sort of mull over your thoughts. But a quick reminder before we do that, we're on social media as well. So Coastal News Podcast, that's our name, at Coastal News Pod, is on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, all the places where you can think of a social media platform. We are on it. We also tweet along live while we watch the show. So we watch the show at 6:30 till 7 p.m. at 5-star first look pace, as they call it, Monday to Friday. And what we do is we like talking to you guys. So if you guys are watching the show at the same time as us, jump on X or Twitter, use the Home and Away UK hashtag, join in the discussion, tell us what you're thinking of the episodes as they, going out live. Or we're on Instagram doing the same thing. So there's a channel on Instagram that we do the same thing from 6:30 till 7 p.m. If you don't do either of those things, if you don't do social media at all, that's absolutely fine, because we've got a form on our shiny new website, which Si mentioned at the top of the episode today. So coastalnewspod.com, and navigate to the Your Say on the Bay page and fill in the form. You just give us your name and your comments, and we might read them out next week. But there we go. Easy. In talking of our shiny new form, we have got a shiny new comment.
Ooh.
From Emma on our shiny
This
new
is
form.
shiny and exciting. Everything's shiny.
I know. Don't you love a bit of shiny shine? I love a bit of shiny shine. It's nice to break up my little speech at the beginning as well. So I've got to remember all this stuff and then go, what's new? Oh yeah. So the shiny form. So we had a couple of comments in on our shiny form from Emma. And I'll read out a couple of those now. So Emma says, I've just watched First Look Monday. So this Monday's episode. OMG, Irene packed the house up so quickly. 30 years worth of stuff packed in a few hours. We said that last week, didn't we? We were like, what?
Yeah.
I will help you move. If your moving looks like this, I will help you move because it's easy.
Also, she should start a removals company because
She should. Yeah, that was
professional.
Efficient. She did do a death clean, like you said before
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
So she
that's
got
true.
less stuff to pack, but it was efficient. It was. Emma also says, so Harper and Archie are off to Tane's to live. Did I miss where Dana is going to live? Now, because this was Monday's episode, you hadn't missed it. It just hadn't aired yet. So, yeah, we do know now.
That was a work in progress, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because it was Tuesday's episode, wasn't it? First Look Pace that Sonny said, come and live with me, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah.
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 And Emma says, not looking forward to Irene leaving. However, if they left it for a couple more weeks, it would have really dragged on, onwards and upwards. Yeah. It probably was getting to that point, wasn't it, where it was like, okay, we're accepting it now, and we're ready for it to
We
go.
were ready, weren't we? Yeah, we were needing it. I think I would argue even a week earlier wouldn't have gone amiss.
Yeah, true. True. Yes. And then Emma got in touch with us a few days later to say, bye-bye, Irene. This is post-exit. Finally, Maz and Irene had some time together on screen. Reading those letters, yes, I cried. You weren't the only one. You weren't the only one.
Not a dry eye.
Not a dry eye. That probably was one of the best things about that episode, actually, was the words of wisdom and her monologue over the top at the end.
Oh, God, yeah.
Really nice. Emma says, how beautiful is the outside of Irene's house? Yeah, everyone's mentioned the outside of her house, actually. There's been quite a few comments about this, and we talked about it last week on the podcast, because this isn't the original outside of Irene's house.
No.
You looked this up, didn't you, and found out that this was the outside of the original Bayside Diner.
Yeah.
Not the
well,
original.
It's changed. It has been redone, hasn't it? It doesn't look the same, but that's what they used.
And it doesn't have an upstairs. It's only got a ground floor.
Oh yeah.
Which is jarring when you know that there's an upstairs with at least 3 bedrooms.
Oh yeah.
An oversight. But yeah, it is beautiful. It does look really nice. Obviously, David and Jolene were taking pictures in front of the sold sign this week, weren't they? In the front garden.
Yeah.
So will we see more of it, or is that it for this outside?
Well, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It does. I mean, it's a gorgeous spot, absolutely gorgeous spot. But yeah, will we start seeing more characters coming to and fro as they do over at the houses?
Yeah,
on the cul-de-sac with the band, share house, and constantly see Tane in his front lawn.
Yeah.
Coming and going from his house. Will we see a bit more of that? It'd be interesting.
Well, I think whoever lives in that house mustn't mind renting it out to Tane in his tank top every now and again.
There we go. But yeah, like new stock shots as well could be a thing.
Yeah.
Like we've been there now and we've shot the house. I'd be happy with some new stock shots.
Yeah.
Between scenes, really.
Yeah, now we're at Irene's. Here's the outside. But maybe don't zoom in on the fact that it's not got an upstairs, because it took me out of it.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for your comments, Emma, and thank you for being the first person to use our shiny new form.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Went nice and smoothly. We got your messages.
Yes. Good test.
Hope it was nice and easy.
And we have got an email as well, because we've also got an email address. So if you want to email us, coastalnewspod@gmail.com, I think. Can't remember now. gmail.com. So we've got an email from Rose, who says, hi, Si and Sophie, and Tamsin if she's there. Well, Tamsin was on yesterday, actually, on our Irene special. So she's not on the pod today, but she was on our Irene special, which is the episode before this one. If you want to go back and listen to that, you can. And Tamsin has joined us for that, which was really good and a good laugh. I think we enjoyed that, didn't we?
Yeah.
So what does Rose say? Rose says, I just want to vent a little to fellow fans of the show. ... Oh, I think we need to listen to this. I think Rose needs get something off her chest here. So Rose says, I, like you, have been sad and dreading Irene's departure. Despite being very emotional, I felt the leaving do she got was fitting and I loved her walk with John.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't think that's like getting stuff off your chest so far. I think that's good. She says, I'm glad Marilyn and Alf got some screen goodbyes too, as I also feel they have been overlooked recently. I think Marilyn definitely has, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even I would argue there could have been more, actually. It was nice that Marilyn took her aside and sort of said, I'm going to miss you, what have you, goodbye. But, I think that is it just that I want more, though?
I think like you and I are that age where we've been watching a while, haven't we? And we remember them when they lived together, and we know they've worked together day in day out for years, and it didn't feel like a goodbye to someone that you've lived with and worked with for 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true.
But people nowadays tuning in probably won't know that relationship as well
That's
as
true.
we do.
That is true. But it was still a bit half-arsed from Marilyn,
It
I must say.
was, yeah. I don't think it was Marilyn's fault. I think she managed to squeeze in a bit of time with it. She got the tarot cards, and
That's true.
she got
Yeah.
the one-on-one chat with it. But I think Irene was the one that went, "Oh, sorry, I need to go and talk to someone else." She was spread a bit thin, wasn't she? I think.
Yeah, but yeah. Do we value Marilyn and Irene more than the characters themselves do, maybe? Marilyn was her employee. Maybe that's how Irene sees her.
But she was also her roommate, and that's why I feel a bit weird about it.
Strange, innit?
Yeah.
People writing the show don't know as much as we do, is all I can conclude.
Yeah, maybe they don't have the same rose-tinted glasses as we do for that relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
And I think people tuning in now probably won't realise how close they used to be.
Therefore, it's redundant, innit?
It's just us sad sacks that remember this. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
We get it though, Rose.
Yeah.
We agree.
Yeah.
Rose says, I was sobbing away when my teenager stated that Irene is not all that nice. Teenager reminded Rose that Irene dumped an almost dead stalker outside the hospital a few years ago. And she does say, I'm quite proud that he remembered that. Yeah, we do remember that as well. She lamped him, literally, with the lamp, didn't she?
Yeah.
Dumped
Well
him outside.
remembered,
Well
Rosie's
remembered.
teenager.
Yes.
Thanks for paying attention.
Yeah, she had got that side to her, but I don't think you can say she's not all that nice. She was doing that as she was defending someone that was about to be attacked by him. So
Sexually.
yeah, it was not self-defense, but it was defense of someone that she, loved and cared for. So I don't think that's a horrible thing. I don't think that makes a horrible person. Yeah.
No, and she got away with it, so
She did, and we've not mentioned it since. So he might not be dead. We don't know. He might not be dead. And then Rose says, I'm glad you promoted the Irene tour dates on your Facebook. I had been tempted to go to Cardiff, but now they've added a London date. I've booked that instead. Oh, enjoy.
Oh.
Enjoy. Everybody that hasn't got a ticket for this, if you've missed out, Irene Lynn McGranger, she is coming to the UK in end of October, early November. And she's doing a few dates, isn't she, across the UK and Ireland. So if you have got a ticket, enjoy. If you haven't got a ticket, there's a few left,
Get
I
one.
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're on Ticket Tailor, aren't they? That website.
Just a couple of weeks away. I'll find our Facebook because I've obviously shared it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to one of those. It's nice, and it's that'll be another sort of bookend to her farewell.
Yes.
If you go to one.
Definitely. Rose says, Sophie made my week last weekend. I don't remember this. When she mentioned reservations with Cohen's dad, Adrian, I 100% agree and thought it was only me that was suspicious of him. So many questions. Yeah, absolutely. She then says, then in today's episode, the bad music came on when he was shied away from arranging a visit to his family. So now we know there's something bad about him. I'm also not a Rue fan, but may say recently I felt for her. Yeah. yeah, it's difficult not to, really. She's trying, isn't she, at least?
I think that's all you can ask at this stage.
She's trying. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I don't know. I'd probably make a much worse mess of this than she has, to be fair.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. And then she shares a personal story about how she adopted a niece a few years ago, and for a time were only fostering her. I can't tell you how difficult it is not to get attached to a child in your care. I know Rue needs to remain impartial, but felt Harper was mean to threaten her to move her to a different placement. Yeah. It was just a
Now
wake-up
that's an
call.
interesting insight we haven't had yet.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Yeah. She's got more of an empathetic viewpoint than we've got, because we've not been there.
Yeah. It's because we were sort of cheering Harper on, threaten her, to put her into tow, but actually our emotions aren't involved. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thanks for that. We probably needed to hear that, Rose, to be honest.
Yeah. And she says, I know Rue needs to be impartial, but I felt that she was mean. Yeah, Harper was mean. She says, no one listens to Rue, that the bloke turned up on her doorstep being pushy. He's a wrong 'un, I'm telling you. So she's got some real bad feels about Adrian. So she might be right, because as we've seen at the end of this week, he's walked away. This was before this email, I think. So you're right to be cautious, I think, Rose.
And you're still sus, aren't you? There's something else going. There's something missed. There's a smoking gun here, isn't there?
Why keep a baby quiet? Why not tell your family that you've had a baby? And you're in a relationship with them. It's not like you've had a dodgy one night affair with someone. It's a relationship.
Yeah.
Bit weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rose ends her email with, thanks for the pod. Look forward to the bonus pod this week too. Thank you for plugging that. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
And she says you're both fab. So bless you for saying that.
Thanks, Rose. Oh, bless you. So are you.
Bless you. Have a good weekend. And the rest of your Say on the Bay is going to be an Irene special. Because I've got
another Irene special.
I know. I've got so many comments. In fact, we might just have to rattle through them, because I've got pages
Message
of comments.
Understood.
Gosh,
right.
There's loads. So we're going to have to brace ourselves. So kicking off with a Mr. David comment, we've got, this is the week I've been dreading. All of us have felt this coming up to this. Not sure if I'm ready for a summer bay without Irene, he says. Yeah. Jamie on Twitter says, I haven't felt this way about an exit since Sally left. Sally, that's a way back, but yeah, I haven't felt this way about an exit since
but
Sally
it's
left.
Again another one of the old school.
Yeah.
You probably we haven't had an exit this big since then. Would you?
Probably
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, probably not. He goes on to say, end of an era, farewell Irene, a beautiful final episode for an icon. So yeah,
definitely.
Paula says, I feel like I've just said goodbye to my grandmother again. Yeah. I mean, it was heart-wrenching. I'm not going to be I'm not going to lie.
And your mind does go to your own circumstances, doesn't it, and things like this.
Yeah, it does feel like losing a family member. Mr. David goes on to say, I am aware it's a soap, but I feel like I've said goodbye to a dear friend.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really hard, isn't it? A character like that you know so deeply, it is hard to split reality a bit.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
From fiction.
Definitely. Mr. David says, it was perfect, a fitting send-off for a true icon. We'll miss you to the moon and back, Irene.
I will fly you to the moon and back.
Oh, there's one for Storylines to Music on Sunday.
Yeah.
There we go. Mo on Twitter says, was one of the best send-offs. Xander had the worst one.
I think we can all agree.
Who was that?
Might have to draw as a picture.
Vaguely remember him. Thor's cousin. Yeah.
It was such
awful.
a good.
His was awful, but hers was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. That is a sort of Irene's exit. Was a sort of example of how to do it right.
Yes, absolutely. An example to other soaps as well. Wink,
yeah.
wink.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Because I'm sorry, I will not interrupt you too much because I
It's
know
all right.
you've already warned me. You've got a lot to get through. But the I'm gonna pick on EastEnders again because
I
I
was
think
thinking EastEnders.
they make the mistake of shock killing
Mm-hmm.
big characters for the short term
Yeah.
shock value, but then end up unstuck later on.
Yeah, or bring them back because they didn't actually kill them off, and then they need to bring them back. Yeah.
They end up stuffed later down the line.
Mm.
And they do the same thing over and over and over again. And they've recently just done it with Martin.
Yes.
They do it constantly, EastEnders.
Yeah. They're chasing the ratings, aren't they? They're chasing the people tuning in and watching it.
The big event thing and the next big shock, rather than
and you don't need to do that.
thinking longer term. Yeah.
You don't need it to be shocking to get the ratings. We're hearing about people tuning in to watch Irene's exit that haven't watched Home and Away for a long time.
Yeah.
We've even spoken to people this week who have never watched Home and Away and have watched her exit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All 4 episodes.
So, you don't need to kill someone off to get the ratings.
Didn't it get the biggest rating in Australia when it went out?
Yeah, it did.
The other month.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And all she did was get in a car.
Smile down the camera. I loved it.
Oh, that last bit. Anyway, don't get me going again.
I know. Listen to yesterday's pod and then you'll hear us reacting to it. Jamie on our Instagram channel says Irene and Sunny dancing has been a highlight of Irene's departure story, although I kind of feel shortchanged that we'll never see them interact again. Yeah.
There was definitely a sort of Irene Chris thing in the making.
Yes. Yeah, I did sort of think about Chris and Johnny.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I think it was a little nod to him, to be honest. But there we go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised,
I might be reading too much into it.
What's the next best thing?
Bless him. I know it's too sad. That's too sad. That's really sad. I can't think about it. That's real life sad. That's like too much. Nina says if JP gets upset, I'm gonna lose it. I mean, that's how I felt. I thought if JP cries, I'm a goner here. Like I'm just gonna be distraught.
Yeah.
I was on the brink of distraught the whole of Tuesday's episode anyway, but
when he tries to walk off after a speech and she goes, John.
Yeah, come for a walk and talk. We'll always have Paris.
I love a walk and talk.
I know. Oh, God. I did think of you because I was like, I bet Si's loving this while I'm wiping away my tears.
Oh, my God. And they shot it with the sun right down low.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Nina's got a funny comment for us to take us out of this sadness, though. She says, I take more luggage than that for a weekend away.
And she was swinging it around, telling me there was something in there.
She threw it in the boot. I was like, this is a 70-something-year-old woman. She's throwing the luggage in the boot here. This is hilarious. And I actually, when I read Nina's comment and she said, I'll take more luggage than that for a weekend away, I was like, you and I know someone that takes way more luggage than that for a 10-day holiday to Australia. Because I think Julie's suitcase was twice the size of Irene's. And Irene's going for like the rest of her life.
She's not got a strapping young gentleman like me to offer to push it over the road.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yes, good point. Gosh, it did make me laugh. Karen on Twitter says, I'll miss her sayings. Oh, my godfather was amazing. She was amazing. Bless her.
Yeah, the Ireneisms. How are we going to keep them alive,
and
guys?
There hasn't been many since she left either. We haven't had someone else pick up the mantle. We have had Alf doing a Scottish accent. Or at least attempting a Scottish accent. It was about as Scottish as my Welsh. And there we go.
That took me right out of it. I was like, what?
It was very funny, but it wasn't a classic, Aussie saying, was it? Let's be honest. Someone needs to hold the mantle for Irene now she's left. Mo says she looks so happy and relieved to be leaving. The stress was gone after the whole build-up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did feel, she did seem free, didn't she? You know,
Yeah.
rid of the burden of the diagnosis. That's a
Yeah.
good analysis. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like it was kind of telling us to be okay with it, wasn't it, and be happy for
Yeah.
her. And
Yeah.
I struggled on Tuesday to be happy for her, but I did try to think of it that way. Joe Lauren says, I will really miss her, but it was lovely, and John meeting her in Paris is perfect, and I have something in my eye. It'll be the onions, I think, chopping in the background. Joe, I think we all felt that, didn't we? Yes. Je ne sais quoi on Twitter says, Irene's send-off made me cry like a baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
We feel you.
We feel you. Michelle on Twitter made me laugh. She says, Sarge's back door doesn't have the same ring to it. And he... and he... I can't even say this like a lot. Oh, God. He will keep it locked. And then a very laughing emoji face. That really, not Joe, Michelle, sorry, I appreciate your comment because that really made me laugh, and I needed it when I read that.
I don't know. I reckon Sarge is partial to an open door.
Do you? Do you think he's gonna have it locked and bolted?
I reckon he'll.
It was locked when Lacey turned up and had to look through the window.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, because the plot was she had a key.
Yeah.
But I reckon he'll leave that back door wide open a couple of nights.
It's going to be weird if it's shut from now on, I'll be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. Booze, closed doors. What's going on?
It's all change in the Irene's beach house. Yes. Yeah, you're right though. It's not got the same ring to it. Sarge's back door is not as funny as Irene's back door. No. Damn it! We're gonna have to be more mature from now on, I think. Damn it! No, that's not gonna happen.
No,
that's not gonna happen. Emma Gravy Monster on Twitter says, I've been suspecting for a while that we may not have seen the last of Irene, given the fact that both her and John were in Europe together during fan meets. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Paris meetup.
Now that would be good.
I wouldn't hate that at all. I'd quite like to see that. I wouldn't hate that.
Just a little one-off.
Or at least some pictures of them under the Eiffel Tower. That would be cute. Like
I'd even accept it.
Got a text message of a picture of them two. That would be quite cute.
Yeah. And that could be AI'd up. Doesn't have to be there, do they?
Oh, I'd like it to be real. But yeah, that would be cute.
I'd like a little sneaky clip one day.
Or a video call or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That would be lovely. Vicky says, catching up on tonight's Home and Away, I didn't plan on sitting in bed bawling my eyes out at midnight, but here we are. Oh, and she says, au revoir, Irene girlie. Oh, sad times.
Yeah.
Sad times. We totally feel you.
We've all been through it, haven't we?
I've been so all over the place emotionally this week, and I was bawling my eyes out as well. You're not the only one. I couldn't even watch it twice this episode because it made me so sad. Mr. David says, as stupid as it sounds, seeing Alpha Maz dancing made my heart happy. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But he did make me laugh, Mr. David, because he said, Justin isn't going to sing, is he? I'm upset enough as it is. That did make me laugh. I needed that. Thank you, David. Yeah, he did sing. Sorry, David, he did sing. It was not bad though. I didn't hate it. Mr. David hates the singing on Home and Away, and he did put a tweet out to the writers this week. Actually, it made me laugh as well, saying, "Whose idea is this?" The constant.
I actually didn't mind it this week.
I didn't mind it. I've never really hated the singing. I'll be honest.
No. Yeah. It's always sort of been there on Home and Away, don't you? If you think back.
Yeah.
There's always been a musician doing something.
Sally was in a band for a bit, wasn't she? Wasn't
I think even Marilyn was in the way back.
Oh yeah.
You had Bianca's fella.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Liam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, Liam.
Yeah.
Irene, at one point,
Yeah.
herself. There's always been music around.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, but not everybody's a fan of it, I guess. Yeah.
Wasn't Kyle a guitar? Kyle was at it as well, wasn't he?
Oh, Kyle, yeah.
And what was the girl called? Phoebe.
Phoebe was a singer, wasn't she? She went away to go and do that, didn't she? Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It's always been there, but I think the lyric thing has been a front and center storyline, hasn't it? Yeah.
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 But it was Justin, band manager Justin, living
I didn't
vicariously.
I didn't hate it. I quite liked it. I thought it was cute. Yeah. It was a bit cheesy. but-
Cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was totally cheesy, but it was cute.
Yeah.
Yes. Emma Gravy Monster says, "This is such a gorgeous, positive goodbye. Well done for making something so beautiful."
Yeah. Oh, couldn't have said it better myself.
Absolutely. A lot of people were saying, "Thank God Maz got a letter." So Jamie was saying, "At least Maz got a letter. Surprised she wasn't forgotten. You know, she wasn't overlooked." And Mr. David saying, "Definitely doesn't. I don't understand why." No, definitely Home and Away. Sorry, definitely doesn't understand how much the audience loves Marilyn. Yeah, I think David's right there. That maybe the show or the writers don't really recognize how much the audience loves Marilyn, and maybe that's the reason why she's overlooked.
Yeah, well, she's underestimated.
Yeah, maybe we need to be more vocal about our support of Marilyn. I mean, I think we
I don't know
are.
what else we can do, really. Yeah.
I think we are, and the social media is as well. I think so. Yeah, I don't know why she's overlooked, but she does seem to be second fiddle a lot of the time. I went over to Facebook after I went to Twitter. I went over to Facebook and got a few comments from there as well. And again, the same sentiments from that platform as well. So Sue says, "It was so sad. Irene will be missed so much." Wow, who else? Deb says, "I want to hug John." Yeah, we all want to hug John, don't we?
Yeah.
Beverly says, "Most heart-sore episode I've ever watched."
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty high praise, isn't it? Like most heart-sore episode I've ever watched. James,
When you consider it was so happy as well.
it was, but it was
Such a mixture.
It was, yeah. It wasn't a tragic goodbye, but it was sad. Yeah, sad, happy, sappy. Is that the word? I don't know. James says, "Great episode and send off for Irene." Tommy says, "I'm ready for the emotional ride." This must have been before she left. Jean says, "Gonna miss you, Lynn. All the best for the future." Lots of people saying this, all the best for the future. Lots of people thinking that Lynn is retiring as well. Lots of comments on Facebook saying, "Good luck for your retirement and enjoy your retirement." She's not retiring. She's still going to be acting.
She's going on stage, of all things.
Yeah, she's been in the Grandparents Club, and it's a touring theatre performance, isn't it? So she's gone back to that. So she hasn't retired. She's still acting. She's just going into theatre, which is where she came from, isn't it? Originally, if you read her autobiography, that's where her acting career started, really, in the theatre. Doris says, "The only soap I watch. I love it." Yeah.
Yes, Doris.
Doris, we love you. Erica says, "Was such an emotional episode. So sad to see Irene leave. I'm going to miss her in Home and Away. I've watched it since it started. Many characters have come and gone, but I'm really going to miss Irene." Yeah, we've lost a lot of people over the years, but this is one that hurts, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a biggie.
Definitely. What else have we got? We've got Pam saying, "I've just watched it, cried my eyes out. Irene was one of my favourite characters and she's going to be missed so much." Sharon says, "I cried. She's been in my house for such a long, long time and I'm going to miss her." Privy says, "Tonight wrecked me. What an episode. Fab work all around."
I love that people have watched it and then felt compelled to go online and be like,
there's hundreds of. I mean, I can't even fit most of the comments in. There's hundreds of people saying the same thing over and over. Lots of people saying her phrases as well, like "gonna miss you, girly." Philomena says that. Emotional episode, says Janet. Carol says, "It would have made my day if John and Irene had kissed." Oh, oh. John sounded like he was in love with her. Definitely a teary moment for me. Well acted. Wow. Yeah,
I think John does love her,
But is it a love?
but not in a. No, I
Yeah.
think it's like a really deep
Yes.
love. I don't think it's like a romantic.
Yes.
I think it's like they've got this connection.
Yeah.
It's definitely love.
Yes.
You know, it's definitely
Oh yeah.
um
Just not romantic.
something
love.
really, really
Yeah.
deep and
Yeah.
wholesome. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Barry says, I watched this and had tears in my eyes, even though it's not real. It was so played well and it was really real. Yeah.
Good point, Bazza.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the performance probably was real.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. Is this acting or is this really how the characters think? And a lot of people are saying, how are they getting through the lines? You know, how are they actually getting through saying these lines? Because it must be so emotional to actually have to say these things out loud because they're feeling it as well. There were lots of comments like that. Lots of comments saying, I want to give John a hug. Lynn says, I've got a lump in my throat seeing Irene leave the bay for good. They all played a good part. Felt it more for John Palmer and Leah, though. Good luck in all that comes her way. Definitely. Someone said, who was it that said, oh, it was Anne. Anne said, well, I was doing well, holding back the tears until Irene drove out of the bay, and then a sad face emoji.
No regrets, Dal. Life's
Yeah.
too short.
No regrets. There were quite a few comments on Facebook, especially about the whether she'll remember to meet John. So Pat was one of the people. Pat was one of the people that mentioned it. Said she's going to forget to meet John in Paris.
God, imagine him stood there.
Hopefully he'll give her a ring and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I'll be there in 2 ticks" or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people. There was quite a lot of comments going, I bet she'll leave him like under the tower. And I was like, oh God. Yeah, I don't know. I'll miss her saying Godfather, I'll miss her saying girly, you know, all of these comments, lots of people saying the same thing. Helen says this is just way too sad, end of an era for sure. Seeing the house empty is sad and crazy too. Seems so wrong that it's going to Joe and David, who have got no emotional connection to it at all. Marilyn should have had it, and she had it way before Irene did anyway. Can't be doing with Joe and David, to be honest. Strong feelings on Joe and David.
Blimey, now don't hold back.
Yes. Nicola says, I hope she comes back to die. It wouldn't be right to kill her off screen. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that, Nicola. I don't think I want to see. I like the idea of her living a life and not knowing when it happens.
Yeah, just don't talk about it now. She's gone.
Yeah, she's gone. Yeah. I was trying to think because we had that episode yesterday with Tamsin from Pop Goes the Tam Tam where we gave our full reaction of the Irene story, and one of the questions she asked us was, how would we have written this differently if we could have written the ending differently? And I was trying to think of other alternative endings, and the idea of seeing her die and seeing her funeral on screen was too much for me, and I don't want to see it, if I'm honest.
I don't think we're in a time of our lives for that kind of heartache, are we?
Not right now. No, I couldn't cope with that personally. But,
this was bad enough, and it was happy.
Exactly. So, although Nicola wants her to come back and die, I don't want to see that, Nicola. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I think now she's gone, I don't think if I found out she passed away somewhere and it was a really fun story about what she was up to when it happened, I wouldn't mind it being off screen. Or would I? I don't know. I've said it now.
I don't want her to die. I want her to live forever in wherever.
There is a pool of characters that are doing that, so she could just go and join that, as we said yesterday.
Yeah, I'd rather that. Well, like I can imagine some miracle cure, for Alzheimer's being invented in the universe of Home and Away.
Yeah.
And she's just travelling forever. There we go. Yeah. And to end this week's You'll Send the Way, I've got a comment from Marianne on Facebook that says, it was so sad. There was hardly any acting. It was just genuine emotion and tears, which made me shed a tear. Thank you, Irene, for all the laughs, amazing storylines, and for your heart of gold. And thank you to Lynn for bringing Irene into our lives. We will miss you. I couldn't sum it up better, really, than that,
No.
Marianne.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for the years.
yes.
It's been a blast, doll.
It has been a blast. And thanks, everyone, for your input. Without your input, there would be no Your Say on the Bay.
Please take the time to like, subscribe, and review Coastal News wherever you source your podcasts and ensure you never miss an episode.